Hey, what's up, Juicy Gang? Welcome back to another video. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button below. If you're not new to the channel, you're not subscribed, don't forget to hit that red button below. And don't forget to turn on your post notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload. Why don't you want to know when I'm uploading? I mean, the story times are juicy. Let's be real. And don't forget to like and comment because that also helps. And by the title, guys, you guys can tell that I will be talking about the time my sister's boyfriend tried to hook me up with his cousin. But let's get into the video. Okay, guys, so let's start by giving my sister her name. Her name is going to be Booby. I mean, that's what I call her in real life. So there's no way that I can hide her identity. It's my sister. Like, there's no way to hide that. The guy that she was dating at the time, we're going to call him Possessive, okay? So a little backstory. Me and my sister used to always go with each other when we were meeting up with like a guy or something. Like, we didn't meet up with like hella guys, but anytime we did go meet up with a guy, we would always bring one another. For the most part, it didn't matter if we hung out with this guy multiple times. Like, we always used each other for comfort. At this time, me and my sister were about 20, 21, I think. Like, we were 20, we were in our early 20s, like early 20s at this time. This one night, she had texted me and she said, "Hey, Jazz, what are you doing tonight?" And I'm like, "Nothing, what's up?" She was like, "We're going on a mission." So that was the word that we used when we were going to be out late, real late, and we were going to do some stuff that we were not going to tell our parents about, okay? So I'm like, okay, cool. Booby lived with my dad. I lived with my mom at the time. So if I was staying out late, I had to stay at my dad's house or my aunt's house because mama didn't play that. Like, my mom, like, she was straight. Like, she just didn't play those games with me. And I knew that, like, my dad, he worked. I feel so bad just giving out the tea. But my dad, he worked like third shift, second shift or something. So either A, when he was at home, he'd be knocked out cold or whatever. So he would hear us come in sometimes, but he wouldn't say nothing to the next day, and we didn't get in trouble. And if we did get in trouble, like, it wasn't even like getting in trouble. So it was just something like, okay, whatever. So I was like, so when she was texting me, I'm like, okay, well, what time are we going? She said about 10. I said, all right, I'm pack my overnight bag so I can just stay the night with you or whatever, because I knew we were going to be out late. So then she said, okay, cool. I'll pick you up and we'll go to his house or whatever. So this was her first time meeting this guy. So anytime it was the first time meeting somebody, we never went in their house. Like, we wouldn't go into the house probably until like the second or third time. I mean, which still isn't safe, I guess, but we had each other. So if something happened, you're going to have to fight both of us, okay? Anyway, so Booby had ended up pulling up on me that night. So she texted me, she said, "I'm here." So, okay. So I told her, I was like, "I'm staying the night at Dad's house tonight, you know, da-da-da." She said, "Okay, cool, whatever." So I run outside.
His friends and his dad hate me. I broke his little heart, he'll cry.
Lock the door, whatever. Get in the car with my sister. So she's telling me about this guy or whatever. And I'm like asking where he lived at and da-da-da-da-da. So I was really the scary one between the two of us. A lot of people thought that my sister was just like so innocent. Like, my sister did not give a, you know, the rest. Like, she's just always been like that. Like, she kind of gives you like hippie vibes for the most part. Like, she's just a free spirit. Like, she just don't care what nobody thinks, like none of that. Like, she's gonna do what she wants to do when she wants to do it. Like, she ran my dad's household for real. Like, for the longest time, she still does to this day. Like, that's just how it works. But anyway, so we're driving or whatever, and we get to his house. We pull it in the driveway. So she texts him. She said, I'm here. So I'm in the front seat. I said, you want me to get in the back seat? She said, no. Stay in the front seat. So I'm like, are you sure? She said, yeah. So my mom had bought me, and I know you probably be like, what does it have to do with anything? But my mom had bought me a dinner from Cheddar's, and it was salmon. If anybody know me, y'all know that I love salmon. But anyway, so she had bought me this dinner from Cheddar's, and it had salmon, rice, broccoli, and I think like a baked potato or something. So, y'all, this is important information. I'm gonna get to it, though. So I'm in the car eating my food, and he comes out. So then I'm like, are you sure you don't want me to get in the back? She said, I'm positive. So then she told him, she's like, you gotta get in the back seat. So he gets in the back seat behind her. So she's chopping it up with him or whatever. Me, I play my role. I'm just eating my food. I'm being quiet. If, you know, they ask me something or they want me to chime in, I chime in. But for the most part, me and my sister, like, we just played our roles. Like, we would just be on our phones or whatever. Like, this is your time. I'm here just for protection and comfort at that point. So her and Possessive are talking, and Possessive is like in the back seat, like talking about like all this stuff he wants to do. And, you know, my sister's like, yeah, that's cool. You know, that's cool. So then he was like, what you eating? And I said, huh? He said, what you eating? I said, does it stink? Because I mean, it's salmon. He's like, no, it don't stink. It smells real good. And I was like, oh, it's salmon. And he was like, where you get it from? And I was like, I got it from Cheddar's. I said, you like salmon? He said, yeah. So I break them off a little piece or whatever, but you ain't eating off my fork. No, you ain't eating off my fork. So I broke him off a little piece and I put it in his hand because I didn't have no napkins or nothing. I said, I'm sorry. And he was like, nah, you good. So he ate a piece of salmon. He's like, oh, this is good. This is slapping. And I'm like, yeah. So after that, like, he kind of like put me in their conversation or whatever. So I'm texting my sister, like, do you want me to shut up? Or she's like, girl, no. I never want to be that person where they like, dang, like, she can't be quiet. Like, why is she talking? Like, you're not even supposed to be here. You're supposed to be invincible. And so we're all just talking or whatever. So that night, we ended up going back to my dad's house or whatever. So for the next couple nights, we spent time over at Possessive's house. And I would either like sit in the living room and just watch TV, or I'd be sitting in the car. We'll all be sitting in the car, but I just never was like overbearing. I never made it like about all three of us. Like, it was about them, if y'all catch my drift, okay? So at that time, I was still on and off with bipolar. So I wasn't really checking for nobody else. I wasn't, you know, looking to date anybody else, talk to anybody else or whatever. And Possessive I don't think Possessive knew that. Like, I don't think Possessive knew that, okay? But one day, my sister had texted me and she was like, hey, Jazz, Possessive trying to put you on with somebody. So for me, when stuff like that happens, like, people be feeling like I can't get a man, and that's never been the problem. Like, that's not the issue. And that's why I told my sister, like, I mean, if he don't want me to hang out with y'all no more, like, that's not a problem. Like, if you're comfortable with that, with me not hanging out, like, I really don't care, like, if I come off as that person to him, as long as my sister is comfortable. I don't care what nobody else has to say. Like, if she's not comfortable still with hanging out with you by herself or whatever, I'm still coming. I'll just be that third person. I'll just be that person that you talk about, because at the end of the day, my sister's comfortability is what matters to me. I don't care about how anyone else feels, okay? So I'm like, if you feel comfortable, you know, hanging out with him by yourself or whatever, and I don't even think that it was like a comfortability thing in general about like she thinking that something that he was going to do something to her. I think that I was just a comfort to her in general. Like even to this day, I'm just a comfort to my sister for the most part. So I'm like, if you're that's why I was just like, if you're comfortable with being by yourself with him, I don't have to come, you know, hang out with y'all no more. Like, I'm just coming because you want me to. She said, no. It's not that. She was like, he just wants to put you on his cousin because he thinks that you and his cousin will be a good fit. And I'm like, okay. I said, do you know what he looked like? And she was like, I'm waiting for him to send me a picture now. So I said, okay. So then she, like about 10 minutes later, she texted me and she was like, yeah, I told Possessive, I don't think that you gonna go. I said, is he ugly? She was like, he's not ugly, but he's not your type neither. So I'm like, so she was like, I keep telling Possessive, like, she's not gonna go. Like, she's not gonna go. So then Possessive, like, you didn't even show her. You ain't giving my boy a chance. So then my sister is like, okay. So she sends me the picture. And I'm like, now, I'm not going to say that Possessive's cousin was ugly, but he definitely was not my type. At that time, my type was chocolate, bearded. I like my man chunky. Okay, that's always been a thing for me. I mean, now that's not my type. I mean, I would date a chunky man still. But... okay, that's not the point. But at that time, I always dated big dudes. Like, I've always had a thing for big dudes. Like, you gotta have a little stomach or something for me, okay? He was so skinny. He was so scrawny. And there's nothing wrong with skinny, scrawny. I'm not trying to body shame. I just have a preference. That's just my preference. Like, just like some people don't like big girls. Like, I can't be mad at that. Like, I'm not offended by that. But, you know, the world is so sensitive these days that I have to actually, like, just say that out loud. So I'm like, booby. She said, I told you. She said, I tried to tell Possessive. I'm like, all right, maybe my type is my problem. Okay. So I'm like, just tell him to give him my Facebook. And if he wants to talk to me, he can inbox me or whatever. So then she was like, all right. So then, like, a couple minutes go by, and he asked me on Facebook, like, I just didn't think that he would even add me. So I'm like, okay, cool. So then he inboxed me. He was like, hey, love, you toxic as hell. You're toxic. Hey, love, you're toxic. But anyway, so I'm like, hey, or whatever. So, you know, we're having a little bit of a conversation on Facebook. So then I think he told me to text him, and he gave me his number. So then I text him or whatever. So we're texting, and so I just stopped replying to him, okay? Because I can usually catch a person's vibe, and his vibe just wasn't given, like, it just wasn't given for real. Like, some people are just boring, and I hate to be that person to say that, but Possessive's cousin was boring. So we're going to give Possessive's cousin a name, because I'm tired of saying Possessive's cousin. So we're going to call him Goldilocks, okay? He had these brown dreads, and he had some gold ones in there too. Like, his hair was not black, like, it was like a sandy brown, like, and they were beautiful. Like, he had some beautiful locks, for real. So we're gonna call him Goldilocks, okay? It kind of sounds girly, but it's okay. So anyway, so then Goldilocks So I had stopped texting. I had stopped replying to Goldilocks. Like, I just wasn't feeling the vibe. So I was just like, I'm just over it or whatever. So the next, like a week later, Booby texted me and she said, hey, we're going on another mission. And I said, to Possessive's house? And she said, yeah. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I said, does Possessive know I'm coming? She said, yeah, he knows you're coming. So I'm like, okay, cool. So this night, we decided to drive my car. So I go pick up my sister, and we're on our way to Possessive's house. So when I go to Possessive's house, I'm in some sweatpants, a t-shirt, or a hoodie, looking bummy, bun on top of my head. Because I'm not here to impress nobody. You my sister's man. Like, I'm not one that... At this time, I think my sister and Possessive have made it official. So, when we get to Possessive's house, we getting out the car because we're going into his house to chill. So, as we're getting out the car, Possessive said, I got a surprise for you, sis. I said, huh? He said, I got a surprise for you. I said, what is it? He's like, it's in the house. I said, Possessive, it better not be your cousin. And he just looked at me. I said, it better not be your cousin. He said, man, don't do my boy. Don't do my boy. I said, is it your cousin? He's like, you're going to see when we get in the house. So we get in the house. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all. When he said that, I started opening up the car door to get back in the car. And Possessive was like, no, come on. So we get in the house. And lo and behold, there is Possessive's boring cousin. Sorry, we gave him a name, Goldilocks. Lo and behold, there's Goldilocks. So when I walk in the house, he was like, okay. And I'm just like, okay, nothing. And I want to tell y'all this. Before I had came over that night, Possessive did ask my sister, like, why did your sister stop replying to my boy? Like, why did she stop replying to my cousin? And my sister's like, I don't know. Like, she wanted to tell him, like, my sister think he's boring. And on top of that, he's already not her type. So, you got to give somewhere, But anyway, so then he was like, how are you? And I'm like, I'm good. How are you? And he was like, I'm good. And I'm just like, I can't believe this man did this. Like, this is not part of the plan. So we all sitting in the living room. We're watching TV or whatever. And Goldilocks, like, just keeps trying to talk to me and stuff. And I mean, I'm replying. I ain't no stuck up person. But I already caught your vibe. Like, I just know, like, this is not going to work. Like, this is not it, okay? And I'm going to tell y'all why. So, probably 30 minutes in, my sister and Possessive were like, we're going to go to the basement so y'all can have some time. I said, we don't need no time alone. And my sister looked at me and she starts laughing. And I'm like, he's like, no, we're just going to go to the basement. Like, Possessive in his head, he really think that he catching a vibe from us. You're not catching nothing, sir. Your cousin is boring. Your cousin's boring. And y'all about to see why I thought that he was boring, okay? So, he was like, so they go downstairs or whatever. And I guess they downstairs just, talking or whatever. So me and Goldilocks are just sitting in the living room, and he was like asking me like just personal questions, not too personal, but just like personal questions and stuff. So then every time I said something, he made it all about him. Like, he was the most conceited person that I've ever met. And when I say conceited, I always when I think of conceited, I always correlate it with boring. And I say that because if all you have to do is talk about yourself, you're a boring person. Like, you are, there's something about yourself that you're insecure about, that you feel the need that you have to make everything about you. That's what I correlate with being boring. Like, he was so boring. Like, I could be like, the color is blue. He'd be like, yeah, I own this blue shirt and I'll be stunting in it. Like, he was so boring. Like, he was just boring. Like, you don't have nothing else to talk about but yourself. So when he was like asking me questions, like somehow, some way, like he would like correlate it to himself. Like, it's different if, you know, I'll be like, you know, this happened to me when I was younger, and they be like, oh yeah, like that happened to me too. Like, that's different. But when you correlate everything to you, and then he felt the need to tell me that he had like 8 sisters or something like that. And he was like, yeah, so if anybody break my heart, bro, you don't have to worry about me breaking your heart, because after tonight, you'll probably never talk to me again. You'll never see me again. Like, I'm only here because of my sister. And ain't nobody scared of you or your 18 sisters or however many you had, because I'm packing with like hella cousins. Like, we don't play around here. So, and he got to talking about like his sisters and how they fighters and how they do this, do that. Like, am I supposed to be scared? So when he got to doing that, I was just on my phone, just like scrolling. I'm texting my sister, like, girl. She was like, I know, like, I know. So I'm like, did you know about this? She said, no, I knew nothing about this, or I would have told you. So I'm like, all right. So then they ended up coming back upstairs because Possessive had wanted to go get something to eat. So his mom's car was in the garage. So let me tell y'all something before I even get into this part. Possessive's mom was upstairs. I'm not sure if we were supposed to be there or not, but it was never like he was like telling us to be quiet or nothing. But his mom was definitely upstairs every time we, you know, hung out, whatever. So I don't know if she cared. You know, most boy moms don't care as far as company and girls, if we're going to be honest. But his mom's car is parked in the garage, and I was parked in the driveway. So I was like, well, there's no point in us taking your mom's car out, me moving my car, moving back in. Like, we can just take my car. So then my sister was like, do you want me to drive? I said, yeah, that's cool. So me and my sister get in the front seat. So my sister's driving, I get in the front seat. I keep wanting to say their real names. Possessive and Goldilocks get in the back. So we're on our way to McDonald's or whatever. So they're asking us, do we want anything? And me and my sister are like, no, we don't want nothing. So Possessive and Goldilocks get food. I don't know if Goldilocks got food. I just know Possessive got food. So we get through the drive-thru, and, you know, we all talking and we all laughing. Like, for real, Goldilocks was cool in a group setting, but one-on-one, like, he was just, I don't know if he was trying to prove to me something, or if he was trying to make me like him, or I don't know, but his whole personality just screamed insecurity, for real. And that's just my own personal belief. So we had got back to Possessive's house. So one thing about my car at the time, my car was raggedy. Like, it wasn't raggedy, right? But it was raggedy. Like, I had to do tricks to get my car to work, for real. And I didn't have the automatic light thing. Like, you know how your car, like, it automatically turns off the lights when you put it on automatic, you know, when you get out. I didn't have that. So my sister was driving my car. So, of course, she doesn't drive my car all the time. So she didn't realize that she had forgot the lights on. I know y'all like, what does that have to do with the story? Y'all gonna see. So we get back in the house. My sister and Possessive go back downstairs, and me and Goldilocks we're just laying on the couch. So he laying at one end, I'm laying at the other end, or whatever. So I'm just scrolling on my phone. He keeps trying to make like little conversations, and at that point I just knew I didn't like him, and I wasn't about to force it. You know what I mean? Like, I'll answer whatever you ask me, or if you talk to me, I'll respond. But I'm not about to make you think it's something that it's not, because I'm just not into you, okay? And I had ended up falling asleep. He had ended up falling asleep. Y'all, my sister and Possessive come back upstairs, and my sister wakes me up, and she's like, you ready to go? I said, yes. 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 So we go to my car, and I try to turn my car on, and my battery is dead. It's 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning at this time. I sure can't call my mom. I sure can't call my dad. Possessive's mom's car, the way that it's backed up into the it wasn't even backed up, like she had pulled in, so the jumper cords wouldn't even wrap around to the front of my car, because my car was at the very like kind of like at the very tip of the end of the driveway, so I didn't even have it pulled all the way up. So my battery was dead, y'all. And my sister's like, I'm so sorry. I said, no, it's okay. I just don't know how we're going to get home. My heart beating like this, y'all. Beating. Because I know I'm the one that's about to get in trouble. But if y'all want to know what happened after that, y'all got to stay tuned for part 2. Y'all thought I was about to tell y'all how we got out that situation? So, if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you guys. But I also want to talk about the road to 100. Like, we're on the road to 100 subscribers, y'all. Like, we're 20 subscribers away. I need y'all to share my videos, like my videos, comment, subscribe, all of that. Do not forget to hit that red button below. Do not forget to turn on your post notifications. Do not forget to like, comment, tell your girl what you like, what you didn't like. These things are important, okay? And once we get to 100 subscribers, we're going to do a juicy Q&A. And I'm doing a 100 subscriber giveaway. So, you guys, come on, give me 200. Y'all got till the end. Y'all have till July 6th, which is my mom's birthday. Y'all have till July 6th to get me to 100 subscribers, and y'all will get a juicy Q&A, and you guys will get a giveaway. I will upload 4 times that week. You guys are going to get a juicy Q&A. You guys are going to get 2 story times, and you guys are still going to get the vlog. Like, I'm not even about to cheat y'all. But all y'all got to do is get me to 100 subscribers by July 6th. At first, I said the end of June, but I'm going to move it to July 6th just because we're basically at the end of June, okay? So, y'all going to have to stay tuned for part 2 because y'all got to know how me and my sister got out of that situation, okay? But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Mwah.